gents, welcome back to another amazing episode of Life Made Easy. Today we got, I'm taking photos on my phone. Today we got episode 5, I believe it is, of Android user tries iPhone in the year 2020. So yeah, got a lot to say in this video. Gonna be going over it. It's weird. I've been using this device, iPhone 7, for now a little over a week and a half or something like that. So I have a lot to say about it, as I said earlier. Go into depth on certain stuff, but I think this is going to be a second to last episode of this series, and on my finale or conclusion in the next video that I upload. Once again, thank you for 30K subs. Appreciate all you guys watching my content. Thank you for the channel members, Tracy Markley, as well as the Titanium Ninja. Subscribe. I'll put their names up on screen here or somewhere when I edit this. So yeah, let's get into my thoughts on the iPhone 7 as an Android user. Okay, so first thing I just want to say in this video is compact size is amazing with the iPhone 7. I've been using an S9 for around a year-ish. Yeah, basically a year at this point. And the size, this is the smaller version of the S9. And just using this compared to the iPhone 7 makes my S9 feel large. Which that makes no sense because this is a small device. I thought this was a small device, but switching to this with a 4.7-inch display and the overall form factor of this, and if you can reach every corner of the screen, makes the S9 feel extremely large. And it makes me think that there's no way I'm ever going to pick a bigger device at this point. I like using smaller devices. I would never go for a 10R. Well, maybe, I'd have to try and get used to it, but I'm so used to this compact size now that I don't want to go big with a phone anymore. Never get a 10s Max or 11 Pro Max or any Max Plus phone for iPhones, and then Androids, I would not get the larger version. So that's my 2 cents on that. I just thought I would mention is it's weird because, as I said in the beginning of this video, I really like the size of this device. And I know I said the screen was pretty crappy on here, which it kind of is still. It's not that bad, but 720p panel, obviously not as good as my Samsung S9. But you get used to it over time, honestly. And even though this is a small screen compared to my 5.8-inch on my S9, 4.7 isn't that tiny. Definitely like older iPhones, like the original iPhone SE and those devices with like the 4-inch display, way too small. But this, you can get used to it, and the bezels don't bother me when watching video content because it honestly helps with actually gripping the device. No accidental touches or anything like that. I just wish the saturation contrast could be boosted a little more on this device. I did turn the boosted contrast on, and it has improved things a lot, but it's just not what I hope it to be. And I do like the saturation and the overall screen on my S9. Okay, so another thing I just want to quickly go over is just the overall feel of the Haptic Engine. There is no home button on this. It's just a still non-moving piece of glass, which is actually more effective than an actual button since it won't break. Touch ID, super fast. Never had really any issues with this. I think it's slightly better than the fingerprint sensor on my S9. Haptic Engine, when just like hitting on touching apps and stuff like that, is really cool. Great way to interact with your device. Even in the control center, you drop the brightness up and down, you feel the little click. I will say though that the screen recording feature built in the iPhones is nice to have. You don't have to download a third-party app like you do on Android. I don't think Google has added that yet, but I hope they do in the future. iMessage has been great. FaceTime has been great. Been using that to chat with some friends. Great way to interact, and it's really seamless since everyone has those apps built into iOS, which is one thing Android needs to get on, and I've been saying that for years. They need a better messaging app and a better video calling app. Google Duo is nice, but it's not pre-installed on every Android, and I think Google needs to start enforcing that if they want to see more people use it. But yeah, you guys did leave a comment on how to change the control center, which I did appreciate. You can add and remove stuff, but it's not as intuitive as it is on Android, so gotta knock it for that. You have to go digging into the settings.
Much I touched on speaker quality. This does have dual firing speakers, one coming out the bottom and then one coming out the earpiece right here. It's good speakers, but at higher volumes it does get a little tinny. It doesn't have that thick sound like my S9 has, so that's one. Obviously this is an older iPhone and the speakers have drastically improved on the 11 and even in the 10R, 10S series, and even the 10 series with the dual firing speaker and the 8. Those have all improved in sound quality, but to be honest, like the sound quality is like actually pretty decent. It gets pretty loud. Clarity's there, just gets a little tinny at higher volumes. MKBHD video.
But this is an independent space, and a lot of people don't really play exactly by the rules that the FTC's.
And I can't use this phone without bumping up the contrast, as I said in the previous video. I did realize when it comes to notifications, let me not unlock my phone. When it comes to notifications, I do like the lock screen on iPhones, I will say. So what you can do with notifications is there's a, well, it's not showing up here, but normally there'd be like a clear all button, which I did find useful. But if you do want to get rid of a notification, you just swipe all the way twice to the left. Kind of irritating, but it is faster than actually clicking the the clear button itself. Also, I'm Physically Made of Money, Tim. If you want to get this t-shirt, go subscribe to the College Mazy podcast, linked in the description, and head over to my Teespring store over there. You can pick this up. Amazing t-shirt. Highly recommend it.
For this episode, I'll do one more final thoughts on the iPhone 7. It's been a great series overall. Great way to track my thoughts on using a iPhone 2020 lifelong Android user. And I think it's great that you guys can hear my perspective if you're considering switching to an iPhone. I'm come to realize that iPhones and Androids are becoming more similar over time. I will say that although like it's a nice device, there are drawbacks, which I do miss on Android, which I am excited to get back and using my Android. But there's things I'm going to miss. I mean, like I'm going to miss iMessage and FaceTime because of how seamless it is to communicate with your friends and family members. And I really wish Google would get on that. I don't know. I think they're working on it, honestly, but I hope they improve it in the future. Get their own dedicated apps that are on all Android devices, just stock apps. And yeah, hopefully we can send messages over Wi-Fi in the future. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe with the bell notification. Thank you for the channel members. If you want to become a channel member, hit the join button down below and go subscribe to the College Mazy podcast. See you guys in the next one. Peace.